Hi Internet, I'm Tango, and these are Tango's takes. And the take for today, March 2nd, 2021, is conventions and hotel contracts. Now, technically it's like conventions and venue contracts, but that just doesn't flow as well. So here's the deal. I'm going to start this right now. I have worked a lot of conventions. I have never been the person whose responsibility it is. No, that's not true either. I have worked a lot of conventions. I have not been responsible for negotiating a hotel contract for an event larger than about 300 people. But this seems relevant to what I see going on my Twitter and my Facebook and other social media. Because convention season is coming upon us. Spring, summer, that's when San Diego Comic-Con happens. That's when Dragon Con happens. That's when Anthrocon happens. That's when Origins and Gen Con and all these other big events that have attendees in the tens of thousands tend to happen. And even events that are smaller at 1 to 3,000. It's time for them to start happening again, and a lot of them didn't happen last year. And people are seeing these events that, are used to putting a lot of people in a relatively small space as things go, or a lot of people in a large space, but they all crowd together, talking about moving forward with plans to happen in person and looking at the side and going, but the pandemic. Texas and Mississippi and Florida being idiots and out the window. In case you did not hear the news today, the Texas governor rescinded all pandemic restrictions, no masks, everything's now full open, you can do indoor dining, whatever. Mississippi's kicking that in tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if Florida's far behind. Folks, please wear a mask. The pandemic is not over. It's not even close to over. Most areas have not started vaccinating anybody but their highest priority groups. But that's a digression. So why are these events talking about going forward? And the answer is modern contract law sucks. Folks, your average not-for-profit convention, and I acknowledge that San Diego Comic-Con is absolutely a for-profit convention, and even they're having some problems right now, does not keep money on reserve to pay a contract cancellation fee. They get out of their contract if their host location, or locations if they have multiple contracts, because large enough events have contracts not only with, say, a convention center, but multiple hotels, go, hey, based upon this thing, we'd like to reschedule you, cancel you, something. Or there is a legal effect, say a government executive order or similar, going, in this state or in this county, gatherings no larger than size X shall occur at this time. And that gets them out of it, because legally they can't happen. But otherwise, your smaller conventions, if they cancel their contracts, are on the hook for 6-digit numbers worth of cancellation fees for breaking their contract. And I'm not talking small 6-digit numbers. So when you're looking at a convention down in Florida, where their COVID precautions have been a joke, where their restrictions have been a joke, that convention is scheduled to happen in July, August. I've kind of lost track. And there are other conventions that are also scheduled to happen, bigger ones even. They can't get out of their contracts. And they are currently scrambling to do everything they can to make it so that the people who do show up, and they know people are going to show up, are as safe as possible. And also trying to find staff, because most staff for the type of conventions I take part in, so San Diego Comic-Con is a notable exception, I don't take part in that one, are volunteers. They can just say, no, sorry, I don't feel safe. They can just say, no, sorry, I don't want to anymore. But they can, most likely you're going to get something like, no, sorry, I don't feel safe. There's a global fucking pandemic. Should probably tag this one for language or something. But not only do they now need to try to host an event, they have to build a budget around a best guess of reduced attendance and build staff around reduced staffing. Even conventions that I'm looking at that are 10 to 12,000 people that are, hoping to happen in December. Throw the dice in the air, walk off, and never look again. You don't know. They can't plan. Right now, registration, pre-reg would normally be open. Dealer registration would be being taken. Hotel contracts would be being negotiated in detail. You can't do it. We can't predict how many rooms you're going to need. You can't predict what kind of space you're going to need. Because you don't know in 8 months what the situation's going to be like. Folks, most of the time, the staff of the conventions are looking to act in your best interest and also in the best interest of the event. And depending on how the organization that runs the event is configured, they may be on the hook for a lot of money. And if they choose to cancel because of the pandemic and they don't get out of the contract on the other side, those events will never be seen again, and the people who put them together will never be able to host or organize such events again. So please, if you want these events to happen in the future, understand what those people are going through, what decisions they're having to make based around their legal obligations. And then do your best to stay safe and healthy out there so we can see you at an event when it is safe to do so. I'll catch you all next time.